Hey, what's up, everybody? I am here by myself today, Sports Cards Junkies. We have a big show today. We're gonna have Mojo Sports coming on here anytime now to give us a chat, let him introduce himself, get to know him, and then from there, um, we can ask him any questions. If you guys have any questions for you, just feel free to leave a comment. Um, we will get everything answered the best we can. I'm not sure how many comments will flow in, how many won't, but a good friend of mine, I did get a chance to meet him, in person at Collectors Con here in Tampa, and then we became pretty good friends from there. But with that being said, I just want to go through some of the pickups I got this week so far. And just kind of go through that until he comes on, and then once he comes on, we'll switch our focus over to that. So the first pickups that I got this week were all these here. They're Rafael Devers, Topps Chrome rookies. These are the updates. I know it's gonna be hard to see with the lighting. I don't know how I can. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Don't mind the sticker price because I didn't get them for that price. But the Topps update, 4 of this version, and then 2 of these. So I'm probably going to get these graded eventually. I just don't know at the $50 price point if these are for PSA is something I want to get graded, but they look like they're in good condition. So those were the first ones I picked up at the Tampa card show. Actually, that was Clearwater card show on that one. And then this one as well was Clearwater card show. I really like this Julio Rodriguez. This is Bowman Chrome first. I ended up picking up this for like $30 at this show. I think they sell anywhere between like 40 to 50 eBay. But this is long-term hold for me. I did buy a 10 of his as well and a PSA 10. So, I think. Sorry, Mojo just texted me. So he said he's jumping on now. So we'll go quick through these. Here was the 10 for the Julio Rodriguez. I think long term this is gonna be a great one. I know these are kind of the base, Bowman Mega Box refractors. I'll probably end up getting a couple numbered here and there, but for at least for the time being, I do like these. I think they're only going to go up in value, and I think that he is a great young prospect for the game of baseball. Going back to some Devers stuff here. Here's the Sepia refractor at 9.5. I ended up picking up this for like $100. I'll take that all day. Great prospect as well with baseball. And I got to state, I think everybody's worried about the nature and the game of baseball and where it's headed. For me, I think there's so many just young prospects that you look at Soto, you look at Rodriguez, you look at Devers. I know I'm missing some names like Tatis and, Acuna and all of them, and Vladdy Jr., who I'm heavy collecting. I just think that the game of baseball has a great young core, and I think, as long as everybody stays healthy, like the game's going to grow some more. Speaking of Acuna, this is a refractor I brought as well. It's the Bowman Mega Box refractors. So this is glare from the packaging, but 9.5 Bowman Chrome BGS. These ones sell for, I think the last couple was like 500 listed with best offers accepted. I think it was around like 425, I think. So I didn't pick it up for that much. I actually picked it up a lot lower from one of the vendors I see all the time. So I'm happy about this one. I think this is going to be a little bit of a long-term hold as well. I think, like I said, great for the game of baseball, and I think they have plenty of talent. No, it isn't. The last, I think this is the last. Yeah, this is the last baseball one I picked up this week. It is the Bowman Inception, Rafael Devers on card auto. One, being a Red Sox fan, I want to get more of his stuff, and two, I think he's a sneaky MVP candidate. for me this year. Like that's my guess. Like he's going to be in a running. And then this one's numbered out of 150. You can see it up here. Um, so personally, like I'm buying his stuff just because I like collecting the Red Sox and Patriots or Red Sox. Um, but in general, I got this card online. I think it was like $75, and I think there at the time of the auction there was a non-number one around that price range. So I was like, this is just a buy it now type thing. So I just scooped it up. I think this is easily at least $125, $150 card at a show. So yeah, so that's that one. And then the last couple here. Sorry, I'm trying to keep these together over here. Is my boy Brady. So this one I ended up winning. This was the 2009 Finest Blue Refractor, BGS 9. I might convert it to PSA, see if hopefully it crosses over to a 9, if not better. I did get this one fairly at a good price. It was around market, but I wasn't like 70% or 80% on our comps. It was around, I think they were going for like 225. I think I was around like 2, which I really don't care because I think Brady stuff right now is dirt cheap. Everybody's like getting out of it, or this is not in the main focus for people in their collections right now. So I just been going towards that, and trying to pick up a lot of his stuff while I can get it cheap because coming in the season, another retirement is in the future. Obviously, their stuff spikes when he's gets inducted to the Hall of Fame. So eventually, for me, I'm still going to keep buying Brady, and that's the last card that I picked up this week. Was rookie. This is probably like my favorite card, and I finally I'm happy to say I have it. I know like for his rookie stuff, like everybody's always going for the Bowman Chromes, and that's kind of like the iconic card of his. But for me, like I'll stick to like this. This is the blue mirror. This card is actually numbered for rookie cards. A PSA 9. I won it cheap on an auction. I got it, I think, for like $2,400 on an auction, which is crazy because for me, this card's numbered out of 1,500. If I can get a numbered rookie of his for that cheap, especially already graded in a PSA 9 where the pop count on a PSA 9s is like 100. I think there's only 20 10s. So this is just a rare card in general. And then if you look at the total pop count, of this card in general through all the grades for PSA is only 219. So for me, if you're looking at the 219 number, that's since 2000. So I honestly think, you got to think like a 20% of those at least got destroyed over the years, or people lost them, or things of that nature. And honestly, it's not like, at the absolute max, this is only going to go up to 1,500 on grading, but you're never going to see that. I think pretty much for these rookie cards and everything of Brady's, like those 9s and 10s numbers are pretty much solidified. For the most part, you might see them go up between the, maybe 1, 2, 3, pop count, added more to the pop count within the, a year or so. But for the most part, like they're not going to go anywhere. So they're pretty much solidified. In my general basis of that. So I think they're pretty safe bets, and honestly too, I think everybody's kind of hesitant right now with the card market and how they're not exactly sure, with everything going on, and the prices, they're way down from where they were, back in February, March of last year. My consensus from just being in this for quite some time is that like you're going to go through these cyclical cycles just like the stock market. I think the card market really depends on the economy as well, in the grand scheme of things. So I think if everybody has money, a fluid economy, things like that, then you're going to see the prices go up. But right now, I think there's so many uncertainties, and I'm not trying to play politics. I don't want to get into politics with this, but I think, the Ukraine stuff, potentially like a world war type thing scenario, inflation, all this other stuff, is hindering people's uncertainty. And I don't think they're spending their excess funds right now on cards. And honestly, too, I think what's taken away from it too is like NFTs as well. So I think the NFT markets, I'm not a fan of them. I know Calvary, who's he couldn't be here today. He had some family obligations. He had some family dinners and everything to go to. but he's probably going to join in the comments here and there, asking questions when Mojo comes on. Um, but from my standpoint, when it comes to this, I think the NFTs were like a lot of money got funneled out into NFTs, and I think people are taking their money out of NFTs a little bit, coming back towards cards. Well, I'll say like this too, at the shows that I've been to locally, I think there's one like every weekend here in Tampa. Um, there's just a ton of people. So I don't think it's losing interest in the hobby per se. I don't think you're gonna do like when it first happened, like you're making gross monies on like the hot rookies, like base cards, like that's done. That's junk. We had the junk wax era. This is gonna be the junk slab era. Um, and I even talked about this with Bryant from Tampa Card Shop. Bases. I think people are trying to be a little bit smarter with their money now, because I know a lot of people probably lost decent amount of money going after like the hot rookies, and it was just the base cards. And for example, like a Mac Jones rated rookie, like PSA 10 paper was like $2,000 at one point. Now I think it's only like a few $100s. So I think stuff like that like is going to weed out the newcomers, or weed out these people. And honestly, you got to think like if a lot of people lost money in this hobby, buying like kind of uneducatedly thinking it was something easy to flip, and or just getting a hobby to flip. Um, I think they're kind of weeded out a little bit by now, and I think their money left. And I don't know if they got burned pretty bad. I don't see them coming back into the hobby. But at the end of the day, the hobby's always been strong. It might have not had the notoriety that it did, um, as of recently. But I think the people that's been doing it, like, it's not going to scare them off because they've seen it before. Like, I'm not scared off on this. I mean, at times you have to be smart, just like in stock markets. You have to take gains of cards and take profits. And, there's certain cards in here like I should be taking profits on, but they're Brady rookies, they're tens. And, honestly, I'm a collector, not a flipper. So I haven't taken the money off that one. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I guess time will tell. But I think I'm pretty safe with his stuff. One, probably greatest quarterback of all time, and two, like they're rookies. So anytime like you get scared in like a depression or like a recession or any economic hardships, the rookies are pretty safe bets, especially of like the goats. They might dip a little bit, but they're not going to go all the way down, or to zero. Like I would say this, like maybe different years of cards might go down, like certain refractors and things of that nature. Um, that are just aren't desirable. Like for example, like look at Joe Montana's cards, like in over the years and whatnot. Like obviously Brady has better stats and everything than him, but like his other stuff, um, but his stuff. And sorry, Mojo just texted me telling me, keep saying he's about to join. So like stuff like that. Like I just don't think, that they are going to go down. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this out here. He's having, I think, troubles joining for some reason. Um, but things of that nature, I just don't think his cards are going to go down. I think maybe like X fractors, refractors, stuff like that may. I would still go with anything numbered, safe bet of his. Anything, um, anything like short print, like pop counts, like low pop counts, rookie stuff, like gold. I think color match, like blues are fine, like reds. Extractors, refractors. I don't know. Like for me, like I did have a lot of them, but I'm actually starting to move those a little bit just to get out of them, and just kind of focusing more on like on the rookie stuff and more on the numbered stuff. So and then when it comes to like sports cards and things that I'm thinking about investing in, or players I'm about investing in, like I've said, I've been pretty much hard on like Vladdy Jr. I think he has a ton of potential. I think from my pickups here, like the Julio Rodriguez. I think he has some potential as well. Um, I think I got all the stuff that I'll get out of the base stuff for him, just the base chrome and then the mega box. And then I'll start moving the number stuff on him. Devers, I think, still has some room to run, and he's with an iconic franchise, of the Red Sox. So I don't think his stuff and is going to dip too much. I think he has actually a lot of gain ahead of him. I just hope the Red Sox get their shit right and um, get whatchamacallit, the contract situation with him, solidified. You can't lose him. I would just pay the man. I don't like how they're going about their contractual situations now. I know they want to save money and be under a luxury tax, but you're one of the most notable franchises in, in baseball, probably top three, and you're not having a problem selling stuff and putting asses in seats. So just pay the guy. Um, who I'm thinking, like I don't do basketball too much, but I do think, and I have been, I pay attention to it, but I might not watch it. Like I watch the playoffs, but I think going in to uh, basketball and everything, like this year, I did pick up a couple like Anthony Edwards, and then watching him in the playoffs, like he's an absolute animal. I think his stuff's still fairly cheap. Some of the stuff I'm looking at still fairly cheap compared to where it could be. I think he's going to be, top 5 player in the league. I'm not saying if it's going to be this, wasn't this year, maybe next year. I don't know. But I think in the upcoming years, like he's definitely going to be top 5. We'll get Mojo's take on that when he comes on. I got to resend him the link here. Uh, I see him in the room. Let me see here. Having some technical difficulties. We will get this situated. Oh, man. All right, let me copy to clipboard. Sorry, I'm just getting this set up here. For him, it's not coming through. Sorry for the little delay, guys. But going back to my take on Anthony Edwards, I do think he is going to be top 5. I will invest in his stuff. So I'm just making sure this is right here before I sign it. Man, technical difficulties. Man, if Calvary was here, we wouldn't have this. This is apparently this is my fault here getting this going, but I think he should be popping in anytime. I'm not sure what's going on here. It's usually not like this. Usually we never have this problem either when we invite somebody. So my apologies for that. But once Mojo pops in this room, I'll definitely add him to the stream. But yeah, I definitely think we will have a good conversation with him when he comes on. Let me see here, link wise, if I can copy it from here. Uh, So, but yeah, so I know it's kind of hard for me to just kind of keep talking and rambling on. Usually, we have some good chemistry here when stuff comes up, when me and Calvary go through. But I think honestly too, when we talk about keeping on going with sports and everything of that nature, um, um, I have been watching a little bit of that Celtics net series, and Uh, I didn't think that the Celtics would handle them as well as they are. I think Nets had some opportunities where they can at least one win in this series so far, but it has been absolutely disastrous for them. I honestly, like I said this, and it's probably a hot take. I think Kyrie is the only reason why this series has been respectable. At least the games have been somewhat close. I mean, KD got almost completely taken out of the last game, and then even in Boston, Kyrie went off with I think 14 in the fourth quarter, and I think game two, to kind of keep it respectable. But honestly, I feel personally like his stuff should be a lot better in a card world too, as from what it is, price point wise. So I do enjoy watching him play. I know there's a lot of political stuff with him as well that I'll stay away from. I do think he's a great player, but just watching him kind of dribble through everybody is unbelievable. I mean, that guy has he can pretty much get an open shot anytime he wants to. I feel like I know KD does the same way, but I mean, I think Jason Tatum has D'd him up pretty good. And even the help defense that the Celtics is given to him, I mean, it's making it extremely tough for him. But it has been I think I want to say good series. I mean, I think the lead changes. I think the Celtics had a 15-point lead, blew that in the first game, and then the same thing happened. Then blew it, but they ended up winning the game. And then all right, let me give it a little introduction here. I got my good friend that I met at Collectors Con down here in Tampa. He's about, I don't know, I'm going to make things up. He's about 6'5", just dripping in sex appeal. Here he is, Mojo Sports.
Yo, I figured it out. What up?
I know. I was going to say I haven't really noticed the problems. I thought I was doing something wrong. And usually my co-anchor here is the one that does all the technical stuff for me. So he couldn't make it because of a family event. And he wants me to send you the best. But, dude, how you been, man?
Dude, I'm good, bro. Just been traveling a lot, spent some time in Los Angeles. I'm back right now.
Yeah.
So back in the groove, you know?
I've seen you been traveling all over the place, man. But I think in Los Angeles, what was it, Burbank Sports Cars you were just at?
Yeah,
Dude,
the Card
that place is
Father.
like a friggin' museum, man, huh?
Dude, the place is the Mecca, dude. They know how to do business, and it's the best car shop I've ever been to. Nobody's done what they've done.
What? So that organizing system, I know I watched your video and they went through it, but I mean that was amazing.
Dude, he has this 13-step breakdown of how to organize cards. And I filmed different features with him, so he'll talk
Yeah,
about it a lot more in the features of organizing cards. But
man, I can't wait to watch that, dude. That's crazy.
yeah, the way they do it, honestly, is they don't want to turn anybody away, so they always say yes, is what his mentality is. He's like Willy Wonka, bro.
Yeah, dude, it looked like it. I can tell you right now, a couple of my Brady display cases I have up on my wall, and I don't even know how to organize them. I went by his rookie year all the way down to current stuff that I have, and then I was like, I don't like that, and then I went by blue refractors, red refractors, green refractors. I just did that today, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. So, what is your info? What should I do?
Man, dude, I mean, you can't go wrong with Brady, so I mean, it should be fun, of course.
Yeah, but
So I
should
don't
it
know.
be by numerically rookie year all the way down to modern stuff, or do you even with all the colors mixed in, or should I keep colors together? You set up at shows. Tell me how I should do it.
Mm, I don't know, man. It's kind of personal preference. Some people like to set up value or put the
Yeah,
nicest cards first.
yeah.
I would say if it's rainbow, that'd be kind of cool to set it up like that.
Oh damn, that'd be sweet. Yeah, I can do that. What So I've seen you've been talking about you've been traveling all over. What has been the best card show you went to? I know what I think you're gonna say so far this year. I should say. I think I know what you're gonna say. Probably Dallas, because I feel like that's what everybody says. But if you had to pick another one,
Um, I'd say Dallas. I know it's so
Yeah,
cliche, but I've gone to shows in Nashville. I've gone to shows in Chicago, and I learned
yeah,
so much. Every time the one thing I always claim, I claim to, what's been contributed to my success is like I feel like a sponge.
yeah.
I really learn something new in every city, and it doesn't have to be transactional through cards. It's through relationships, and
Hmm.
I mean, it's crazy, dude. I was thinking about this. Like the card community is so tight knit. Like most of these people will probably be at my wedding, and
Oh God,
they're
yeah.
gonna, yeah, like everyone's gonna be a part of this thing. Like we'll be doing some tournaments, and like it'll be fun, dude.
You
So it's like
live
a
breaks at
family.
your wedding, right?
I know, dude. I don't even know when
So
that's
your
gonna be.
wedding
I'm
gifts are
27. I'm 27, bro.
yeah. Your wife's gonna hate you because like all the wedding gifts are just gonna be like sealed wax.
Oh my god, I know. I need somebody to bring the 2035 national treasures to me. All right.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. So what we always like to do, like on the show, is just kind of like get to know like you and your like collection, or if you, I don't know if you have any pieces by you that you want to show off or whatnot, but like we just like to go through like because people really never show off like their personal collections at times. So I just didn't know if like you can even describe like what's some of the like PC things as like your favorite or things that
Yeah,
you.
actually, I got some stuff to my right. I'll
Oh,
grab it.
oh, sweet.
All
Yeah,
right.
no problem.
So, yeah, I guess I'm looking right now. I don't know. It ebbs and flows, man. I've been kind of doing a different amount of stuff. I've been picking up a lot of stuff low key. I haven't really posted much.
Yeah.
I've been
Well, you've been
sorting.
traveling, dude. I don't even know how you have time to post stuff.
I know, dude. It
Awesome.
gets so crazy, bro. I picked out a couple things. Picking up a lot of
What
Barry Bonds.
more Boogie Cousin stuff?
Oh yeah, I've been picking up stuff of him too. I'm gonna go see him play on Wednesday. I got
Yeah, I saw,
tickets.
dude. I was watching. Like, I'm not a big basketball fan anymore after Kobe. Like Kobe, kind of like towards the end of his career, got hurt. I kind of stopped watching it because he was my
Yeah.
favorite, and I saw. But I've been watching it. I watch NBA playoffs. I'm not ignorant to it, but it's that game was pretty good, man. To see and Boogie's out there. He was doing his thing. At the one point, he had like 10 points. I'm not sure what he
10
ended with.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played good, so it's cool.
Mm.
Here's some stuff, man. Like I said, I haven't really been getting out much, looking at my cards, but I'm a Giants fan, man. So I picked up Buster Posey's
Oh
Chrome
God, yeah.
and his refractor. I guess I should show
Mhm.
one at a time here.
Nine
Actually,
five
I'll do
ten.
this.
Where'd you pick those up on eBay or did you get those at
So those one was eBay and one I did a deal in San Francisco.
Oh nice.
I've been buying a ton of I've been buying collections like off of like Facebook and stuff. So like I picked this up. I haven't even posted this yet. Dustin Johnson.
Oh, he's just dude. The golf cars have been extremely like I feel like more popular now, like somewhat
Oh
hotter.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was looking.
I got so much golf stuff. Like Colin Morikawa, he went to Berkeley. He actually
Yeah,
played. He didn't play that well in the Masters in the beginning, but he actually played pretty well toward the end.
yeah.
And then obviously can't go wrong with this guy, Tiger Woods.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Yeah,
That's
it's cool.
yeah. His stuff's gonna be always popular. I mean, invest in the goats, right? Is what they say.
Yeah,
Can't
that's
go
what I've been
wrong.
buying, man. Honestly, just buying goats, easy stuff. It's crazy, bro, with the travel. Honestly, I
Yeah,
struggle sometimes because I want to go everywhere and I know I can work from
yeah,
anywhere with my media and marketing aspect of Mojo. But when I want to sell cards or I want to do deals, it's tough because I can't always do the deals that I like used to
yeah.
do. Especially now as we grow more, it gets so crazy sometimes when we go to
Yeah.
shows.
I you've been to more shows. I've been just the local ones because of like my other businesses that I have, and I haven't been able to travel. I'll be at Nashville and things like that, but like Dallas, I haven't. I just had dogs and stuff I've been training. But at that point, what have you seen at shows, man? Because like down here, like it's been very strong with like the traffic and foot. Like I know everybody's kind of get leery of the hobby because the prices aren't what they were like a year ago when it came to like the highs or whatever. Well, I think the hobby's strong. I think people are just being smarter with their money, as in like they're not going really after base stuff or the like like the Herbert rookies and stuff that were just bases for through the roof. Like I said this too, like Mac Jones, like at one point, his Raider rookie in a 10 was like $2,000, and I was like, now it's like a couple $100. So I think people are being smarter. But what have you seen from like you traveling all over?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it ebbs and flows like anything. I think in the
Mhm.
summer, like this Dallas May show, like I won't be going back to Dallas until maybe November, honestly. This
Yeah.
Dallas May is the one, dude, because I know after summer, we're all going to want to have fun. I'm going to go to
Yeah.
LA for a while during the summer.
Yeah.
I'm going to travel a lot to different cities. So the summertime, a lot of people aren't really thinking about, you think really somebody really wants to think about cards? Like I'm just thinking outside the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
The collector's always there. I'm a collector for sure.
Yeah.
But I was thinking more in like priorities. I've just seen like, I mean, you know how it is. The summertime, everyone, especially with COVID ending
Yeah.
and traveling is,
Yeah.
free for all now. It just seems like most people are gonna maybe the market's gonna be soft a little bit in the
Yeah.
summer because that's what it did last time. But at shows, I just see a lot of dealer to dealer deals go down.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of higher end deals or dealer to dealer. There's been cash flow at some times, but it's a lot of dealer to dealer stuff, so it's kind of tough to gauge. Like I was trying to think about like what it's been like lately, and it's just kind of I don't know. I can't pinpoint it. This next Dallas show is gonna say a lot.
Yeah. Are
I
you gonna
think
give
so,
us
yeah.
like your full? You're gonna have to give us your full insight, like a recap of it again, and just
Yeah.
like, hey, give us your insights for the market, man. I think. Hey, going into that too, like I've seen this too, like where I'll be walking around a show, like not set up because Brian from Tampa Card Shop, he usually just lets me throw stuff in his case or whatever. It's so funny, like to the aspect of like other people walking around will come up to me and say like, hey, like I'll buy this from you, but this is like I'll buy it 70% of comps. Like I've never like through the years of me being it at this for like a long, before like the popularity of this like kind of took off. No one would ever come up to you and say like I buy it 70% of like to me I get kind of insulted at times like that. Like you're just normal person walking the street. Have you what kind of like which have you seen like when it comes to that too? Have you seen like similar things where people are kind of like saying like, hey, you have this offered at like say $100, you're like, oh, I buy it like $70 or $80. Have you seen that at all? Like when they're actually going for like 100?
Yeah, I mean, like, are you talking like if someone's trying to buy something from me or if I'm trying to
Yeah,
sell?
like yeah, if you're set up, like it's different if you're a dealer, like I mean, because you have the cash or whatever. But like people are like, I've never really seen it like that where you're on the other side of the table and people are telling you like I'm buy at 70%. I'm like, cool, so do I, like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, dude, like I don't know. That's like people saying leave some meat on the bone. I think a lot of what goes on in the community
yeah,
with sales is like this. You couldn't move a card for a while. You're stuck in
yeah,
it, and it's time to move it. Like I've had
yeah,
this Jordan since Chicago, and I haven't
yeah,
really put it out there to sell. And I'll be honest with you, Del Mar, this puppy should not come home. Like this is
yeah,
going to be put in a deal, and
yeah,
it's just because I've had it for a while, and
yeah,
it's like it's very movable.
yeah,
And I enjoyed owning the '86 Jordan from Chicago, so that was my
yeah,
aspect. But I mean, in terms to your question, like I mean, dude, yeah, you're gonna get people that are gonna
yeah,
fight for every dollar.
yeah,
But like sometimes I value the relationship more than the deal. I
exactly,
mean,
yeah,
I mean, I actually it's not sometimes I always do.
yeah.
If I sometimes I'll pay full price and just be like, yo, I'll do a deal with you again, and then it kind of works out.
Yeah, I feel it because I'm like the same way. Like I'll give educated like on eBay. Like I feel like I get insulting offers sometimes. Like if I have like a Brady card off, it's like a $2,000 card. Someone's like, oh, $300, and that's my fault for not putting like the minimums on. Like anything under this. But same time, I kind of like to leave them off because if I'm getting like a collective effort or offers by other people on eBay around the same, then I'm like, okay, I might be off here. This is what the market's dictating to me is where it's at. But yeah, man, it's definitely I think the relationship side of things. If I do a lot of business with people, kind of like you, like there's give and take. Um, but I have a question for you. Growing up, diehard Kings fan, and everything for yourself, throughout the years, why does the ownership of the Sacramento Kings hate their fan base? Because I feel like they put you guys through so much misery. Like they always have like Cousins or all these high end picks and also like healed like all these people, and do they not want to see you guys happy?
Yeah, dude, I get this question a lot. So, like, I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there. I stopped buying Sacramento Kings cards.
Yeah,
I'm like on like a huge hiatus. I love collecting them, but like
yeah,
I'm just so disgusted. So, a lot of stuff people just send to me and give to me, which I
yeah,
freaking appreciate because it goes in my
yeah,
PC box. But
yeah,
I'm pretty much buying DeMarcus Cousins and Rogers right now.
yeah,
The Kings, dude, like Oh, I can sum it up like this. I just think like there's elites that have been there since, the
Mm,
early days that are still doing things and chiming in. And
mm.
I just think that there's a part of the old Kings like regime still involved. So it's kind of a problem, obviously. And then our owner traded Halliburton because he said we were going to win now, but we didn't make playoffs. So it's like,
Yeah,
what the
that's
hell?
why I think they just hate you,
What
guys.
the fuck
Like,
happened? You're kidding me?
what a like that's the thing I don't understand. Like, are those games like is there good attendance to Kings games or no?
I mean, our city in Sacramento, like we love the Kings, but it's
Yeah,
like I think this year was like the breaking point. We're like, dude, this is a joke.
yeah. Well, I just think like you get those high picks, like they're gonna put asses in seats, so they're gonna sell. Like, why would you want to just dish them off? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just feel like,
We're the type of team that's going to throw Otto Porter, a 4-year, $100 million
yeah,
contract when we
yeah,
should be giving Bradley Beal 4 year, 75 million type
yeah.
thing. It just the
I,
Kings.
I don't. Yeah, I just don't understand that. Like when it comes to that. I got a game here to play with you. Chris
What do you got?
Webber, Boogie Cousins, Mike Bibby. You gotta fuck one, kill one, marry one, dude. Just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
Oh,
Unless you want to
that was
answer, dude.
no,
Unless you want
I
to
ain't
answer.
answering. I ain't answering that.
I think you're marrying Boogie, dude, because of all the cards you have, dude.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
Um,
I'm going through like I went through like all the Kings, like the history of players, like even growing up watching it, like not even on it, like Peja Stojakovic, like guys had talent. Like it's just I just don't, and you guys were competitive. I remember like early 2000s, very competitive. It's kind of mind boggling to me, like that is just kind of like
they just keep pushing. They just
yeah,
keep like putting different pieces together, and they're not working.
yeah,
The last time I felt like the Kings worked post Boogie was when they had Dave Yeager, and he was the coach, and he was running like the Kings as like a fast team with
yeah,
Iman Shumpert, and they were
okay,
calling
yeah,
themselves the Scores, and they were going to be like the eighth seed. That was a fun team for a month and a half.
yeah, a month and a half, and then it was over. So, dude, so I didn't look at this. So the Culture Collision Card Show, Atlanta,
Yeah,
the basketball tournament there. How'd you guys
yeah.
even do? How'd you do? Because I was
I
gonna put money
played.
on you for like a triple double
I
line.
played like shit. Huge shout out to Chris Jackson from Alt.
Uh,
He carried our team.
yeah,
Card Junkie was there too. I did not. I mean, I've been in the lab, bro. I was in
yeah,
the gym today. I played ball for an hour and a half.
yeah.
I'm getting back into shape, man. And like, I did not play well in that tournament. Chris Jackson from
Yeah.
Alt carried us, and he
What
was unbelievable.
what did you guys like? How did that work? Was it like a bracket
It
type
was
system?
just
Oh,
yeah, bracket 3 on
yeah,
3.
yeah.
Just everyone
How
was
many
just
teams?
breaking threes. I think it was like 7 or 8 teams. Or
Okay.
no, why would it be seven? It's got to be eight. No team
Yeah,
can play themselves.
yeah, yeah. I'll tell you this. I don't know if you thought about this, but game plan for next like Culture Collision show. I don't know if you saw like the drama going on with Joe Jokic and Gary Payton the second, where he's sticking fingers in holes on defense. Maybe you bring that to Culture Collision. Gary Payton's giving, maybe you.
Well, I ain't sticking my fingers in anybody's holes at that show, let
I'm
alone
just
any
saying,
show.
like, dude, hey, Gary Payton was
I
doing on
keep my
Jokic.
I keep my hands to myself.
Dude, who the fuck does that in NBA, dude? Just, you're
Yeah,
trying to DM off and just, dude, that's fucking terrible.
dude.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, it could be a good defensive strategy, man, if get in their head a little bit. uh, so,
What's that grading company called? HGA.
yeah.
So when someone shoots, I'm gonna scream HGA.
Yeah,
Hopefully they
dude.
miss.
Dude, we actually had a couple good grading companies on there, kind of like, I want to say startup. They're not startups, but they're actually like DGA was the one out in Dallas. They actually do pretty good. You would have to watch like other shows with. I mean, they've been doing great. Like even the design slabs. I know it's new. Nothing really carries value like PSA does, or like a Beckett 10, or But
Yeah.
I see a lot of people coming in with these grading companies, and I think HCA was like one I just never really liked. I don't know why. I'm not trying to be like rude to them, but
I
what's
just
your
use that as the example. I
yeah?
don't know. I don't know. I
What
don't have
question
anything.
for
I've
you?
never
Question for
graded.
you though. I think what I don't like is when like the label takes away from the card. So when they have like so much going on in the label, like designs and all that other stuff, and it kind of either like messes with like the layout of the card, or like takes away from it. Like I just like a simple label. You know,
Yeah.
what's your how? I guess like, do you like all those designs and stuff, or do you? No.
Dude, honestly, bro, I'm the 2011 through 2014, like, baby J in me is coming out telling you that, like, Beckett, PSA, or
Yeah.
bust, you know.
Yeah.
SGC, I respect Peter a lot,
Yeah.
so I love Peter. He's
Yeah.
the CEO.
Yeah.
I could actually throw SGC as a third
I
because I
love
like him
SEC.
a
Yeah.
lot, and I actually think that they're decent, you know. So SGC,
Yeah.
you know, they're on my
Yeah.
ladder. Even though, remember at the national, I didn't know
Yeah.
who he was.
Yeah. I'll
Shout out
tell
to
you this.
Lameem James.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, dude. SGC, I mean, even back when I started, like I did like them, but they're like, if you were to cross, like they're tough on older cars, man. Like even the Brady, like
Yeah.
one of the Brady rookies I just sent off, I was like a SGC 7 in the Flare EX. So I'm gonna see how that crosses over, because if I look at the car, like you can't see anything like in the case or whatever. Like there's no ding corners, no nothing, but it was the old green label on the SGC. So I guess we'll see how that crosses over. If that crosses over to an 8 or a 9, that's decent money,
That's good.
value added to it. What shows you got coming up? Like, what's on your schedule? Like,
Okay, so I'm going to Del Mar on Friday morning. I'm flying into
okay,
San Diego.
okay,
Like I said, I came back from LA. Took some little inspiration trip to myself. I called you when I was there, and
yeah,
I learned a lot, man. Not just with
yeah,
Burbank, but just in general. You know, and I need that. I need those trips. I'm going to Del Mar, and then I'm gonna go to New York for a little while. I'm gonna fly into New York. I'm gonna go to, I think it's called the Probstein or Big Apple Show or something
yeah.
like that. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna film with Bleecker Trading, spend some time with Mark Zabalo and Bleecker and Jacob, and then hang out with my boys, Card Junkie and Basketball Card Paradise. They're gonna house me. I'm
Oh,
gonna hang out in
nice.
New York, get the little tour. So it's exciting. I'm gonna go to New York. So I spent 2 weeks in LA, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna spend 2 or 3 weeks in New York, and then go straight to Dallas.
Oh, nice, dude. So, like, what's the cost of living in New York compared to LA, man? Is it about the same then?
It is
More
like
expensive on?
more expensive,
Yeah,
and the places are very small.
yeah,
I mean, it was my first time in New York.
yeah. Cold, right? Well, you were there
Uh,
in the winter months, right?
yeah, I was in
Yeah,
Boston, New York, and New Jersey.
yeah,
So like usually when I plan these trips, bro, like I'm going all out, and like
yeah.
I do have some extra stuff planned
Uh-huh.
outside of Mojo that I'm very excited for.
Oh, you don't have you're
Yeah,
not gonna release it here, but like
no,
on
no,
your
no.
on your channel or whatever. Like when should we expect like some announcements coming?
I don't know. I just can tell you that the next 6 months are going to be huge.
Oh, good,
There's going to be some pretty interesting stuff going on, and I'm very excited.
good, man. Like we'll all have to
Yeah.
stay tuned to your channel. Was it like when you do the announcement? Is it gonna be like on your YouTube channel, or
I think
have
it'll
you not
just
that
grab.
thought that?
I think I don't know yet. I don't have an.
Yeah,
I think it's just gonna happen.
yeah, perfect, dude. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
excited for it, man. Like I said, like I mean, I met you at the Tampa Collectors Con. I think they're doing another one. Like I think that like the dates, like I thought they would have it out already, but I thought it was a decent show there. But I mean, like the the thing that I respect about you, and not trying to kiss ass or anything, is that like you're the same person, like in person, very humble, very friendly. Like you don't put on a show for like a camera. So you're the same person, like, and very transparent. And like I feel like sometimes it's hard to find that in the hobby, because everybody always thinks about like the dollar. So, it was actually like one of my goals, just to, have a conversation with you, because I do respect you as a person, not as like a role model for, just cards. So,
Yeah.
but if they do Tampa show, are you coming back down to that?
Yeah. So my
Yeah.
best friend from high school, shout out to Spencer. He passed the bar in Florida. He just got a
Oh,
job in Tampa
oh,
with
nice.
as a defense lawyer. So
Okay.
I'm gonna be in Tampa, probably visiting a lot more.
Oh man, so you just have to let me know when you get here.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So,
got
what
you.
has been your take on the NBA playoffs so far? Like, let's if you want to start by series, like that Celtics Nets series, man. Like, I think that's been so surprising to me.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I texted you. I was shocked,
yeah.
honestly. And then Ben Simmons didn't play, so that was kind of weird.
That guy's getting paid
Yeah,
like 20 mil or something just to sit on the bench and dress like a clown. Like, no offense to anybody, but
yeah, no, I mean, the Nets series is surprising. I mean, obviously the Celtics are balling.
yeah,
Sixers, The Raptors just aren't as good as they used to be, so the Sixers kind of destroyed that. And then the West, obviously the Jazz and Mavs, that's a really good,
Yeah.
even matchup. The Nuggets Warriors, I'll be honest, I'm gonna go see Boogie play on Wednesday. It's gonna be a tough
Oh,
one,
nice.
especially at
Yeah.
home. But you know, and then I don't know, the playoffs were good as always, man. I think the second round is gonna be really interesting.
Say maybe you tell Boogie to play some handsy defense.
Can you imagine?
Oh
Match them.
man. So how did you even like become good as friends with him? Did you know him outside of before like
Um,
or did you just like always kind of collect get autographs and he knew you through that? Like how because I've known you always collected his stuff. I just didn't know like the background to it. Like is it just a PC guy that you ended up meeting and became good friends with or
Yeah, I mean, I always say this. He watched me grow up and I watched him grow up.
okay.
He was like, I was 14, 15 years old. He was like
Yeah.
21, 22, and
Yeah.
I just looked up to him.
Yeah.
And he was always really supportive. The
Yeah.
Kings were trash, but I would go to every game and I would,
Yeah.
rep and make signs. And
Yeah.
I just started talking with him, and then he was cool. I met his manager, and his
Oh,
manager was
sweet.
introducing me to him and stuff. And they just throughout the years, man, DeMarcus has just been in my life, man.
He's he
And
seems like a great guy. Like, I've never
he's a
met him,
great
but
guy. Very misunderstood off the,
yeah,
people, have their perception, but off the court, man, dude, the dude was amazing, bro.
yeah,
Like I always share, he was there for my family when my sister had passed, and I've just collected him since day one. I still talk
yeah,
to him on Instagram, on my personal account, and obviously saw some of the videos when the Kings were playing. He showed
yeah,
love. That was sick.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I just feel like the Kings, like, did him so dirty, like, as in, like, he was a piece, like, really to build around, and it's like everybody, like, they've gotten, like, high picks, like, a piece to build around, and they just I don't know.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that quote came out, and I got like hundreds of people DMing me. It's crazy sometimes how many
Yeah,
DMs I get. I don't even think about it
yeah,
until I look through, and I'm like, holy crap! I looked through the other night when I was in Santa Barbara, and I was like, man, I got to respond to some of these.
yeah,
And a lot of people are asking me like, what did you think of the quote? And I'll say it. He's not wrong. He
yeah,
was devoted, and I have inside sources. Like
yeah,
he wanted to end his career in Sacramento, and they traded him, and they moved
yeah,
on. They didn't really like, yeah, in his early career, like he obviously had some struggles and technicals and all that stuff, but he grew up, he was trying to mature and get better. And the Kings went a different direction, and he felt that that was like, uh out of nowhere, right?
I
And what are you going to do? And the Kings still suck. So any of the
yeah,
Kings fans that want to say that, oh my gosh, he was this and that, like, okay, but the Kings didn't change.
yeah, dude,
Nothing changes if nothing
yeah,
changes.
yeah, and that's my thing that I kinda get with too with that, like I don't know, it's because it's on TV or they're athletes, but we always think, like, for me personally, like, I'm like, I always look up, like, you look up to them, like, as they're older than you, but then you're like, "Oh, shit, these kids are, like, 18, 19." So when he's coming out of college, like, he's young as like, you're gonna go through that, it's not
Yeah,
like
these guys are they're human beings. Like I
Yeah,
think when I stopped getting autographs, honestly,
yeah,
it made me and like I started making connections with
yeah,
players and like just going
yeah,
places and not asking for autographs. I
yeah,
started to realize like the conversations I have with a lot of these athletes, they're humans.
yeah.
They're
And
human
that's
beings.
it.
They get anxious like I get anxious. They got fear.
Yeah,
They have
yeah,
all the things. They have pressure. They have lives they didn't want to live until they got to basketball. I mean,
mhm.
dude, people they're human beings. Come on.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me, like, the people, like, if he gets a technical or he's deemed, like, a hot header at the time or whatever, like, one, that shows me, like, he's passionate, about the game and he loves it and he wants to play well and do well. But at the other time too, like I just feel um like people make mistakes and like the people that are judging him or whoever it is, like you're not in his life, man. Like and for him, you literally go back and say to them like, "What you have never done anything in your life? You never lost your cool, temper, Like I don't know.
These guys are on a spotlight. I think
Yeah,
people put them on I think
yeah,
people put them on a pedestal. Like I
yeah,
tell people all the time, don't put me on a pedestal. I'm human. I'm
yeah,
totally human, bro. I still go through the same shit that all of us
yeah,
do, bro. And
yeah.
you put me on a pedestal, and then you meet me, and you're like, oh my god, he's not what I seem. And I was like, bro, I
Mhm,
like tell people like I'm a human. I go through this shit, and just
yeah,
like these people do, these athletes, like
yeah,
he's a human being, dude. Like,
mhm.
what are you gonna do?
How'd you get into like the autograph scene and like Did the autographs come first, then move to cards, or is it both kind of like same time, or is it like
Big autographer, man. I like the
yeah,
idea that I could like, meet somebody and
yeah,
like get it autographed and then like I
yeah,
had like something like, oh wow, I got that signed. Like
yeah,
that was my timetable. I thought it was cool. I was opening the Bryce Harper 2011 Bowman packs, the red ones. I remember opening
mhm,
those at Target, going to the card shop. So it was a mix of both. Autographing, I felt, brought me closer to the game. Cards bring you closer to the game, but autographing, meeting people, and
mhm.
I talked about this with someone recently. I didn't just go up to these people and say, "Can you sign my autograph?" I was like, "Yo, you had a great game last night, Dame. Like, nice dunk. Like, I love the way you play." And they look up and they're like, "Oh, someone actually like paid attention." It's not just, "Can I have your autograph?" And
Yeah,
I've been around autographs for a while, and I've seen people just sit there and,
yeah,
"Can I please have your autograph?" And like, yeah, that's cool, I guess. Like, but I think I think autographing taught me so much. Taught me how to communicate. It taught
yeah,
me to not be scared of speaking up. And honestly, connecting with other human beings, I think that was huge. So autographing and card collecting tied in together. I don't autograph as much anymore. Like I said, it's just something I just kind of I'll do it if I have time, but usually I don't have enough time.
yeah. No, dude. I mean, it seems like it. I mean, you're always on the road. I'll text you, and you're like, "Oh, I'm going to Chicago," or "Hey, I'm Las Vegas," or "Hey, I'm here." Like, I mean, but I mean, you're doing what you love, man. That's what like advice I give to like any younger kid too. Like, obviously, like I don't have the platform you have, but just at the shows or whatever, if someone, I'm like, dude, just like collect who you like to collect. Like, just like who cares if it makes money? Who cares if it, at the end of the day, like if you collect what you like and the market turns, you at least have that piece and you're not like you're staring at it, but you're like, I don't care because like I like that like Brady stuff. Like he can go out and kill somebody and all his stuff's gonna be worthless, if he did. Like, but I'm still like, I don't care. Like I love it. Like, I love collecting that stuff. But I was
Yeah,
gonna
dude. I
say,
mean, I agree with that, bro. Like, I freaking I just stay right sized. And what that looks
yeah,
like is like I don't have to have the best freaking cards, dude.
yeah,
Like nobody wants to see that Mojo is making $14,000 a month selling sports cards and investing in cards and telling you how to buy
yeah,
cards. Like I'm sorry, but like
yeah,
if that works, that's fine. I've never been
yeah,
about that. And I've also been the type of person that's like I'll speak my mind. I think honestly, dude, I've been speaking my mind a lot more lately because I have enough of an influence at
yeah,
this point where it's like, dude, like I'd rather put good messages out there, the truth. I think when I was first starting, I was just kind of floating, but like I'll speak my mind. I'll tell you how I really feel. And I think with like I had kids message me and they're like, "Man, my parents can't afford this and I can't collect this." Well, my advice to them is like collect what you love, and
mhm,
honestly, the best thing you can do is to be involved in the community. These
yeah,
deals and everything else and all these $14,000, $20,000 deals that you see are awesome, they're cool, but where rubber meets the road is what is this community? What are you doing in the community? Are you active in the sports card community? And I think that's kind of the message I was trying to tell you. Like I'm more open to talking about this kind of stuff
yeah.
than I ever have been because at this point it's like we've grown so much. It's time to speak up.
Yeah, I think your platform. I've never really went personally. Like I had an Instagram page from like 2017, but I just like posted cards and stuff on it. But I mean, nothing like where I was trying to get like a platform really. I was like, if I influence people or people have questions, great. I'm there to help. And I think that's like one of the great things about you and other people in the hobby is like you're not like selfish just thinking about like the bottom line, like money. You're just like I think you're more about the community and watching it grow because if we all do better, then the hobby just does better, right? Everybody can make a piece of the pie of it. And I know there's like I noticed myself like I really don't get along too well with like flippers, like not ignorantly, but like trying to work out deals is hard for me, you know, in that aspect because like I'm a true collector, right? Like I set up at shows here and there, or throw things in cases, but at the end of the day, like my roots are collecting, and I'm not sure with you if I know you do mixables, you set up or whatnot, but like for me, it seems like you're more about the collection itself more than like obviously you want to make money, but it's like that's not what your your main focus is. Does that
Yeah, I
make
mean,
sense?
dude, okay, so like if I sell, like
Yeah.
once again, I have nothing against there's a flipper, there's the
Yeah.
collector, and there's the
Yep.
investor. All three of them
Yeah.
play a huge role in this thing. There's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with making money here.
Yeah.
I just think for me, I don't have to like make that a big deal. But
Yeah.
I will admit that I do sell so I can keep stuff. I'll
Yep.
sell, you have to, like, If
Yeah.
you're in this hobby, your mentality is sell so you can keep the Jackie Robinson, so I can keep the Tom Brady
Yep.
1-of-1, the Tom Brady autograph.
Mm.
And then at the same time, like I'm also like I get cards for good deals, and like I am a
Yeah.
sports card,
Yep.
like I'm running an online sports card store,
Mm-hmm.
a multimedia company, a marketing company. I mean, there's just, I mean, whatever you want to call this thing,
Yeah.
content
Yeah. I
creator.
like it, man.
I'm like this dancing man here that's like,
Goddamn mogul here.
yeah, dude. But and we're trying to get the labels right.
Yeah.
I joked around. I was at dinner with some of my old friends. I'm like, I'm an international sports card investor trader, and
Yeah.
they're like, what the fuck? I'm like, no, I'm not going to Dubai. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean, it's like, dude, every aspect works. I just think, you can't hate on the flipper, right? Because
Yeah.
we've all been the flipper. You can't hate on the collector because we've all been the collector. You can't hate on the
Yeah.
investor because the investor's
Yeah.
scheming for the future. So it's like you just got to balance it out. I
Yep.
think each flipper and investor needs to develop this collector in them.
Mm-hmm.
Or I just feel like this feeling of like, I don't know, you could burn out easily because you start losing money.
Yeah.
Or
And
you
that's
start
right.
making a bunch of money.
And that's what I think, like a lot of people, like maybe why the market's kind of stagnant because they lost some good money, like in the market going after those bases or, whatever at the time, what it was, when it was scheming high, everybody was trying to get in because like, oh, I made X, Y, and Z or off the card, off this, like, oh, it's an easy hobby. But all of a sudden, like when shit doesn't go well, like that's where I think like it was kind of good that like it weeded some of those people out, right? Like it weeded, the people that weren't really passionate about the hobby or passionate like making a living. Like, I mean, you live and learn though. Like it's not like it's a hard, like I dislike this person or dislike that. I mean, it's just life, man. Like everybody's scared of failure, man, but you got to fail to succeed.
100%, man. Honestly, dude, like you got to take risks, bro.
Yeah.
I took a huge risk, man. I had like, if you listen to Luca Tiger LeBron podcast, I put it all out there. I took a huge risk and it was worth it. I'm taking risks every day, whether it's a conversation, a connection, anything. I'm taking a risk and I'm willing to, pay the consequences if I have to. Because you know what, dude, you got one life to live. My whole point about mentioning that was, I mean, I think we did weed out a lot of people, but I also think we've brought in a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think I think this hobby needs to focus on like the next generation, and I think that's where my role comes in is like there's kids that, this hobby can be affordable for, and there's the bigger things than, I paid $12K for this card and I made $15K. You know what I mean? That story just gets old after a while.
Yeah, I think that's
just what goes through your mind when you buy it. Like, and I'm throwing some, nuggets of wisdom out here, and I will say this. How have you, and I can say this for you as well, you can answer this. How have you adapted and changed to the market? For me, I'm on to the next project, right? I love going to card shows. I love this thing, but dude, there's something on the horizon and I can feel it and I am fired up for it, man.
You're making me fired up for it, dude.
Well, I know, dude.
Let's fucking go.
I am so ready, dude. And I'm just like, oh, God, bro. Like,
I'm going to take a wild guess. Is it a full spread MojoSports NFT?
No. I get so fucking excited for this, excuse my language, but it's like,
dude, I love it.
I'm just so passionate, bro, about this thing. And I am just like all in, bro. I am constantly trying to learn things. And
me too.
I'm so grateful, dude, for these opportunities that have been presented, and I think the biggest advice I give to people is you need to adapt and change. If you're a content creator, adapt and change. What are you doing differently? If you're a card investor, what are you doing differently? Are you going on different auctions? Are you buying soccer? Are you buying this? Like, are you still selling wax? Are you still going to retail and selling wax? Like, why don't you adapt into something else? Like, what's your next thing? Like, can you build your brand? And I think a lot of people, get comfortable and you stay stagnant. And that's when you start to, suffer your brand, everything else. So you got to keep growing.
Well, that's like bookstores back in the day. They're like, oh, we're going to have a fucking bookstore, blah, blah, blah. We're not worried about Amazon. Fucking, hey, like Amazon took over the world because people were just complacent.
Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, they shit the bed because Netflix, oh, don't worry, we'll offer this service. I mean,
and now Netflix is shitting the bed for being stagnant too because now they have a lot of competition where they didn't before. So it's just one of those things like, you have to adapt, you have to change. Like, and like you, man, like I'm like, profit's nice, you know, like obviously like I want profit and everything that we do, and that's how we continue and grow. Like, but for me, like you said, like I love the influence, as in like, you know, one dog I train, like their kid loves Najee Harris. Like if I rip open like a wax box, I get a Najee Harris rookie card, like I base or whatever, I just give it to him. Like, you know, but that makes him like, oh shit, dude, great, man. Like I'm, you know, to me they're like $1 to $5 cards, if that. But for him, like that's the world, man. You know?
Yeah, that's it,
Yeah.
man. That's the bigger picture. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people miss the picture and some people just do it. I mean, why are you doing it, right? I film everything I do. And like
Yeah.
I meet the Charlotte Hornets kid, Tate.
Mhm.
Never will forget that, dude. And like, bro, if there's one thing I tell people that it just fulfills my soul, dude, is to find these kids that were like
Mhm.
me when I was 15 years old and collecting wasn't cool. And I
Mhm.
find that the outcasts and you know, the kids that didn't really have the opportunities, you know, or just anything. I don't even know.
Mhm.
I see myself in them and I get to help them or I get to like give them a cool card and it's like, bro, at that level, like money will be there, financial security will be there, you know, everything will be there, everything will be provided for me if I'm just doing stuff like that and I'm doing the right thing and
Mhm.
I have the right message behind it.
Mhm. I agree, man. I got a kid like he's like a brother to me, my age, man, but he struggles with like depression and things of that nature. And like his biggest thing is like he feels like he's like the odd man out at times. I'm like, dude, like you take beautiful like photography pictures, man. Focus on that, you know. And so half the part of, you know, with depression and things of that nature, like I ran in my family, you know, is that like you have to have the motivation for it, and that's what he's lacking. But I'm like, dude, you go out, you start meeting people, you start doing stuff, you put yourself in that community, like good things come from it, you know. Like for you, like you grabbing a camera and going to card shows, like people might have looked at you weird at the time, but like look what you've grown into, right? You know, like it's you have people fucking imitating you now at shows. You know, I think you were kind of one of the first ones to do it, like grab a camera and go. Now I go to a local card show, I see little kids with cameras, man.
That's
Like,
cool.
bro, it's just one of those things, man. Like you just don't know. And this is kind of what I've always stated. And you know, it took me a while to get to where I'm at mentally and everything too. Is that like just by you like going out and doing or you putting yourself in places like you don't know who you're gonna come across and like who you could eventually like make their day or inspire or you know direct them down the right path. Like it doesn't have to be like flipping a card, you know, and making it showing people to make a ton of money. It's like you seeing a kid at a show and giving them a pack of cards, or you know, people come up to you and give you like Boogie Cousins stuff, or you know, stuff. But them even just giving that to you, like, was like, holy shit, I got to meet Mojo. You know, like
Yeah.
it's just an impact, man. But I think like you're doing it right. I think like you're one of the truest people to help move the hobby in a positive light compared to like some of the shit that we've seen with like, you know, I don't want to drop names like of things in the past, like the Mark's card situation and shit like that, you know. But dude, but like I know you're busy and I appreciate you coming on here and just talking. I just like to get to know people within the hobby and people that I've met and show things off. But like, I just want to show you, man. I got it. You'll have to text me your address, but for coming on a show, I got you a couple cool things. It's
Oh shit.
yeah,
Let me take a screenshot of that.
yeah. It's
Oh,
my camera's kind of blurry, but that's
that's
a.
sick.
I thought it was a sick patch, man, so I picked it up for you.
Holy shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
So and then
Thank you.
also I don't know how your thought is on like printing plates or whatever, but this
Oh
is like a
yeah, dude, I
sign
used to
for it.
collect a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bunch of those. That's
So
cool.
I just saw this too. It's like Scion 101. I feel anything 101 for Boogie Cousins has to go back to you, dude. No matter
Dude,
if it's a
appreciate
printing
that,
plate or a
bro.
card, man. But
Yeah.
nah, man. But I've held those on for a while. I had them for a minute, man. I know it's been our schedules haven't been
I
lining
know,
up
bro.
to get you on,
It's been a
but
while.
like, dude, it's just like like I just enjoy meeting like humble, nice people, man. So I
Heck yeah,
appreciate
bro. And when
everything.
I'm in Tampa, I'll hit you up. We'll kick
Yeah,
it.
we'll have to hang out, man. Well, dude, and honestly, like literally the one thing that's nice about here is like there's a card show like every weekend and they're all local, right? So the
Hell yeah.
Tampa card show, Clearwater's, I think is probably the best one. Now they did another one up in like 45 minutes away. So it's not like I have to travel like the other coast or whatever. I mean, I imagine I could, but every weekend there's a card show going on here. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, dude, it's me coming from the Boston area, it was at the time it was like one card show a month at a Holiday Inn. And I was like
Wow.
fiending for it every month, I was like,
Oh
and
yeah.
now it's just like prevalent in the hobby. I feel like there's one multiple weekends. How is the card show like? I guess demographic by you is it?
Yeah. I mean, we have some like our shows are really good, man. I think a lot of people like there's a lot of good stuff out in California,
Yeah,
and I feel like cost of living is pretty high, so like people want to sell cards like a lot quicker.
yeah, yeah. Is there just like one like show? You're Sacramento, right?
Yeah.
Is it like one main show and then a bunch of like local shows in Sacramento, or is it just kind of like one
There's
show?
like one Sacramento show, but then there's a bunch in like the Bay Area, like San Francisco, Hayward,
Okay.
Fairfield show. So
Okay.
those two Bay Area ones are big.
Yeah. No, definitely. So at one point when things come down with dogs, man, I'll have to come out to California and check some of this stuff out, man. It looks like you have a blast at every show you go to out there.
Bro, every show's a new experience.
Yeah. No, man. But once again, man, I appreciate you coming on. I apologize that the co-anchor that I have like couldn't make it
Right.
for this spot because I know he probably had some questions or whatever. But no, we would love to, probably have you on again at some point, maybe later on this year, like after you've gone to the show, after national, after you get through your hectic, and after your big announcement too, man. Whenever that's coming, we would love you.
Yeah,
Dude.
it'll be gradual. I got to do some planning. I got to go back
Yeah.
into the drawing board for a couple of months.
God, man. Well, I'm excited for you, dude. I don't think it, whatever it is, it sounds like it's something big, and like, I couldn't be more happier for you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Bryant, Tampa Card Shop, wanted to say what's up. Told him I talked to him earlier. He on the phone. I'm pretty sure I talked to him more than family, dude. Like every day, talking about
awesome.
shit. But no, yeah, he is a good guy. But no, man, I appreciate you coming on. I know I took up a little bit more of your time than I think we anticipated, but it's usually how it goes when people come on.
Cool.
All right, buddy. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Peace.
Right, see you. Well, guys, that's the show. We will get that put up. It should save automatically to all of our social media pages. Get up there. It was great speaking with Mojo. Like I said in the interviews, is like what you see, on camera is what you get behind the scenes, and I feel like some people put on these fake mirages of themselves. But I mean, he's always been true. Always been a good person. Always had good chats with him, and I appreciate everybody listening in and giving us the opportunity to bring him on a podcast. And we will be back to Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Starting next week. I know we had a little holidays, and I had to kind of change the show time around this week to accommodate Mojo to get everything on. But we wanted to bring that to you, so I felt like that was the best option, and we will keep it going. Appreciate you guys.